It'll be hard to follow Mohammed. He likes these sorts of things, I don't. As you've probably seen, I'm a man of few words, but when they have to be spoken, I generally pipe in there. To date, from what I've seen of Brompton Cross, being in the company and seeing a lot of familiar faces here, it's been a really good ride. I've enjoyed what we've all been creating, and I have been impressed by everything that we've been producing out there in the market. My slides, I'm on my own here, I don't have someone pushing a button. So my slides here are just basically the operations that we have introduced into Brompton Cross, that we are starting to use and implement as we're going along. Some of this might be a little bit new, but basically what I'm used to doing where I come from is project management. I know a lot of you out there have dealt with project management, and for us, introducing this and getting ourselves on that platform to produce a lot quicker, smarter, more effectively is what we need to do. Incorporating the different companies is where we need to get ourselves to. So bear with me, I don't do this. I am nervous, you can probably tell on my voice. So operations and functions at the moment. We do have a company structure, obviously Mohammed's at the top of that, and we do coax Mohammed along here and there, but he generally takes control and tells us what we need to do. The growth of the business is what Mohammed's job is to do, to build and keep looking for those new opportunities within the market. And that's basically where we need him to be for the future. My role as the operations manager is to make sure that everything else is running along smoothly underneath that. I have a good team of people below me. When I say below me, with me, I shouldn't say that at all. But I have a number of people that work with me that are taking control of their different departments, and that is starting to shine through. So for me, it's a day-to-day. And if you're in the office, you will see that there are a number of questions that come my way day-to-day. Some of them good, some of them I look at people and say to them, you do know the answer to this, why are you coming to me? So we are getting smarter, we're getting more efficient at what we're doing. So the project support structure is just breaking it down into the project. As Mohammed said earlier, the client is the project. We have a number of projects in the market at the moment at different stages, but the project itself is what we're dealing with. The client, yes, we deal with the client, but the client comes to a certain point, we take control of the project, we have to deliver what the client wants. So then, as we go into the project, the client will approach us, we come up and we introduce our design department. The design department will take a concept and they will deal with us, with the client, to obviously create what the client wants for the end product. Then what they will do is we will negotiate and bring on the other consultants as we need to throughout the design phase. The design department also does the initial design. They coordinate with all the consultants. When the project becomes live, their role changes, they become the document controller. So they are the ones that we talk to from the sites about the drawings, at what stages they are, and what we need, when we need it. They're the ones that will be driving when we receive it from the different consultants. So then we come into commercial. We've done a design, now we're going into commercial. So now we need to put a cost around that. We need to put together packages. We need to get together and understand what this project's going to cost throughout the stages. Building forecasts, liaison with the client, telling them when they are going to be paying for certain parts of the project so that they're not caught out of pocket, we're not caught out of pocket, and the job runs seamlessly. Then we're adding corporate administration. The corporate administration, or the administration I call it, is when we start really rolling into a project. We've got a number of people in our establishment, in the office, that have different facets of the work. You've got the HR, you've got the accounts, you have all the other people that are part of that process. So then it starts rolling into a full-on project. Then we're going into planning. So the biggest one for us, and that's when our project managers get involved, they come in and they start planning that project. So then we start putting together a plan to implement on the site. We understand what the facets are of that particular project. We understand what the risks, or try and mitigate the risks involved for the client and for us throughout the project. Then the health and safety. Now, the only reason that health and safety is here after all of this is not actually the way it does happen. Health and safety is considered right back at the design phase. Right throughout all of this phase is how we're going to approach this. Are we going to put people in danger? Are we going to put public in danger? How are we going through this process? The only reason it is coming at this point is just because this is the end of the slide. But Kaz will be able to explain that in a better way. So the operations manager is myself. I deal with the different departments. Commercial, which is what I went through earlier. Quantity surveyor, putting together the prices. The purchaser, putting together the packages. The projects, dealing with the projects. How they're going to put together. Working with the project manager, handing it over to the project manager. Working with the site manager, right down to the site personnel, which is the subcontractors and everybody involved. Corporate administration, obviously they're a big part. The invoices start coming in. They're dealing with all the admin details, the contracts, as well as all the payments and how that's going to be processed throughout the project. The design control, design document control, as I said earlier, their facet is to initiate the design control, run through that through the design manager and that particular team. There's the different facets of the items within the department. We've got surveys, so we may be asked to go out and do a survey of a particular apartment or a property. That's part of this role. Document control is a big part of this role, and a lot of us have actually started using that for what it's worth. We've got a system there now, particularly on all the projects. You should not be using any plans that don't have our stamp on it. If you are, then you need to go back to document control and ask them why that's happened. Then you've got the designers. Obviously, that designer is not a matter of being a designer just to hand it off to other people. We have interior designers in there, we have the structural designers, we have a number of facets that we actually work with within this department. And now it's Kaz's turn. Oh no, Kaz is not even turn.
Change the plan. Okay, we'll go forward for the HSBC.
Look, just a quick one. As I said earlier, it has been a privilege working with Brompton Cross over the time, and I do see a lot of new faces here from when I started. So, as I said, thank you very much for your time.
I would like to welcome Amy from HSBC. We're talking about the financial before marriage.
So I think you've heard enough Kiwi accents tonight. I'll hand it over to Alan.
Hello, I'm from London, and I'll keep it pretty normal and pretty straight up when we talk about managing your finances. And like Glenn, I'm not familiar with this surrounding. Holding a microphone and doing slides, it's not my day-to-day, but hopefully it won't be too bad for you. Let's just check it works.